I'm Mary Mueller, and we're here at the Watauga Humane Society, and I'm a volunteer here. And I'm just going to walk through what we do for cleaning the cat rooms. It's, making sure you're cleaning, sanitizing the rooms, fresh food, fresh water, fresh litter in the rooms. So making sure the cats are comfortable. We want to stay away from any kind of cross-contamination between rooms, which means, taking careful steps to don new gloves every time you go into the room, between rooms. But even if you're leaving the room, take your gloves off, put new ones on when you come back. I take special care as well to make sure I'm not putting things on the floor like our cleaning supplies. Keep those either on my cart in the vestibule, pull it out as I need it, towels, or make sure I've sanitized a surface that I can set them on that's not the floor in the room. Just making sure whatever you do, you're taking steps to ensure you're not cross-contaminating between rooms. So in the morning, first thing I like to do is get the cart to clean rooms and just put all my supplies on the cart. So you can get those over by the bathroom. There's usually some carts lined up there. I'll kind of clean the top of the cart off first, spray it with some Rescue and wipe it down so it's nice and clean, since I'm putting clean mop heads and my paper towels and gloves, my Rescue and window cleaner, that type of thing. The rooms have a lot of little blankets and toys and things that the cats like. So you want to make sure you take all those blankets and give them a really good shake. Get all the hair out or anything like that. Blankets are often folded up in the cubes. Make sure those are pulled out. Give them all a good shake, open them up before you fold them back. If anything's dirty, we just take it out and we can get something clean. But if it's, clean, it just needs a shake, it's cat hair, it's okay. I start with sweeping the floor. I don't worry about sanitizing the hard surfaces just yet, because you're going to overspray. We're using a product called Rescue to clean those hard surfaces. It's going to overspray on the floor, so if you try to sweep a wet floor, we all know how that goes. So I would start with sweeping floors, then move on to sanitizing all the hard surfaces with the Rescue, like the cubes, spray them, clean them inside, outside, platforms. I always clean underneath as well. Cats like to get underneath there, so it's nice to kind of, lean the platform back and give it a good wipe underneath as well. So sanitize, clean the windows with window cleaner. I stay away from the frosted glass because I'm not sure how well that holds up. Windows. And then I move on to the litter trays, empty them, wipe them all out, use Rescue for those. If any litter tray is particularly nasty, just get a new one. And the litter trays, I would say you use maybe about 2 with the big bowls, scoops in a big litter tray, and those are in the condo area. That's where the litter is kept. So clean all the litter trays, put new litter in, and then new food and water. So in the big rooms, rooms A and B, the big cat rooms, there are water spigots in the room. So you can empty the water from the water bowls and just, refresh the water there. Giving the bowls a couple of rinses, making sure they're nice and clean. And refresh the water. Important to keep in mind too, food bowls that are in there, which I get to at the end. You don't ever want to spray any kind of cleaners in there. Those are just wiped out with a clean towel. And if the food bowls look like they need, they're getting kind of, dirty, or you can't really wipe them out well, just get a new one. Same thing with water. Sometimes the water bowls start to look like there's a film on the bottom, just get a new one. Food bowls, wipe out. I always wait to get new food. We'll get that from the cat condo room as well. I always wait until I've done the room. I see how many cats or kittens are in there, so I know, do I need cat food? Do I need kitten food? It's about a 1/4 cup for each cat or kitten, so I count them, make sure I know what I need, and then I'll get a fresh bowl from the condo room, fill that up with enough to distribute amongst the bowls that I have in the room. Now, I always count the cats when I go in the room, so there should be 1 food bowl for every cat. So sometimes, cats are being moved in and out. And so if I see there's 5 food bowls and only 3 cats, I take 2 of them out because there's really no point to waste cat food. Or if there's 5 cats and there's only 4 bowls, I'll bring a new bowl in. So just make sure there's enough bowls for each of the cats. Then the last thing would be kind of mopping the room. So we use bleach water, and we get fresh bleach water, fresh mop head between every room. And well, with the kind of bleach we use here, the percentage of bleach that it has, it's a cup of bleach per 3 gallons of water. So basically it's a third a cup per gallon. So I usually get about 3 gallons of water in a mop bucket. And so mop the room, and then, you know, put everything back in place, and then you're pretty well, you know, finished with that room. Change your gloves, change your mop water, get a new mop head, and, you know, refresh everything, move on to the next room, and starting over again. In the cat rooms, there's 2 big rooms and 2 small rooms. So in the 2 big rooms, it's a little easier, at least the way I do it. I'll start, in the big rooms, I usually start on the far room first. So I'll take everything out of that room, just because it's easier to sweep and mop if everything's out. You don't have to take everything out, but it's definitely easier. Other than the heavier, like the really big platforms, I'll leave those and just move them around. Because in those rooms you can take everything out, I try to kind of isolate the cats on one side, only because it's easier than having cats running around. Now, it doesn't always work that way, especially with kittens. They're just, you know, they want to do what they want to do. Or if there's a cat that's particularly grumpy and just wants to stay on the platform and doesn't really want to move, I'll kind of leave them there until the end, and then I'll try to encourage them to move so I can get their blanket out from them and wipe that, you know, the platform that they're on, that particular level of the platform. Sometimes what works is kind of massaging underneath it, you know, it'll encourage them to leave. But in any case, they don't have to move, but in those 2 big rooms, it's a lot easier if you can kind of isolate them on one side. So I'll do the back side. Then once I have that done, you know, in fact, I do actually mop that in stages. I'll do that whole process I just talked about, you know, sweeping, cleaning the hard surfaces, mopping. I'll do it on one side of the room, move all the things that belong in the room back, and then I'll go to the other room, try to move the cats over, and kind of repeat that process. In the 2 smaller rooms, we want to avoid, we don't want to take things out of the room into the vestibule. We want to keep things in the room just so we're isolating. We just don't want to cross-contaminate. So in that case, I usually just kind of take everything up, fold all, you know, shake blankets, fold them, try to put everything in the corner, sweep around it, move it, sweep some more, you know, and do the same thing with mopping. And the cats are, you know, cats find a kind of walk around the room there. They're usually all right, or they'll jump into their cube or something. So while you're cleaning the rooms, a good thing to do too, an opportunity to make sure cats are doing well, is just be aware if you see any cats sneezing or coughing, and let the medical team know. If you experience any of that, you see it with the cats. So if you notice cats not getting along or any kind of serious altercations, let them know about that too.